Hey everyone and welcome. Today we are taking a quick, fascinating tour of the most incredible structure you will ever own, your very own skeleton. It is literally the framework that makes everything else possible, so let's just dive right in. Our tour kicks off with a single, really important number, 206. That's the magic number. It's how many bones make up the skeleton of a typical adult human being. But get this, here's a wild fact right off the bat. You are not born with 206 bones. Not even close. A newborn baby actually has around 270. So what's going on there? Where do the extra bones go? Well, as we grow up, a lot of these smaller bones, which are mostly soft cartilage at first, they fuse together. They join forces to become the bigger, stronger bones we have as adults. It's amazing, right? You're basically built to assemble yourself over time. Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with the big picture, the blueprint. Then we'll zoom in on the body's central frame. After that, we'll check out our movers and shakers, the parts that let us get around. Then we'll uncover a really surprising secret about where most of our bones are hiding. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with why your skeleton is so important. So first up, the blueprint. Let's think about the skeleton not just as a pile of bones, but as the essential, foundational framework for your entire body. All right, now let's zoom in on that central frame. We're starting our tour right at the very core of your structure. This is what scientists call the axial skeleton. You know, the axial skeleton has two huge jobs. It's not just about support. It's not just holding you upright. It's also your personal built-in suit of armor. These 80 bones run right down the center of your body, and they protect your most critical organs. We're talking your brain, your spinal cord, your heart, and your lungs. To explore this core, we're going to make 3 key stops. We'll start at the very top with the skull, then work our way down the vertebral column, and finish up with the thoracic cage. First stop, the skull. It's made of 22 different bones, all pieced together, and it is the ultimate personal helmet. You've got the cranial bones that form this hard, protective case for your brain, and then the facial bones that give your face its structure. Okay, moving down from the skull, we hit the vertebral column, your spine. It's made of 26 bones, and it's like this incredible central tower. It protects that super delicate spinal cord, it holds up the weight of your entire upper body, and it's an anchor point for tons of muscles. And our last stop on this core tour is the thoracic cage. You know it as your rib cage. It's made of your sternum and 12 pairs of ribs, and it's this amazing, flexible armor that shields your heart and lungs. It's got to be flexible, right? Because it needs to expand and contract every single time you take a breath. All right, we have explored the stable core. Now for the really dynamic parts. Welcome to our movers and shakers, officially known as the appendicular skeleton. This is where all the action happens. So, if the axial skeleton is that central pillar, the appendicular skeleton is basically everything attached to it. It's what lets you move and interact with the world around you. We're talking about the 126 bones that make up your arms, your legs, your shoulders, and your hips. Now, everything is connected by the shoulder and pelvic girdles. But just look at those numbers for the limbs themselves. 60 bones in your upper limbs and another 60 in your lower limbs. That is a lot of moving parts. And that high number leads us perfectly into our next section, which I gotta say is a personal favorite. It's time for a surprising bone count. We are about to find out where the vast majority of your bones are actually hiding. So I'm gonna ask you directly. Just take a guess. Where do you think over half of your body's 206 bones are located? In your spine? Maybe your ribs? Your skull? Okay, are you ready for this? The answer is your hands and feet. Can you believe that? Together, they have a whopping 106 bones. That's 54 in your hands and wrists and 52 in your feet and ankles. It is literally more than the entire rest of your body combined. And all those tiny little bones are what give you the incredible dexterity to do things with your hands and the complex stability you need to balance and walk. Just amazing. And hey, while we're talking about surprising facts, let's give a quick shout out to sesamoid bones. These are pretty unique. They're little bones, like your kneecap, that aren't connected to other bones in the usual way. Nope, they actually form inside tendons. They act like tiny pulleys to reduce friction and give your muscles more leverage. Such a clever piece of engineering. Okay, let's bring our tour on home. We've seen all the parts, so now let's put it all together and really understand why your skeleton matters so much. And here's how the numbers all add up. Remember, our journey started with those 80 bones in the axial core, and then we explored the 126 bones of our appendicular system, our limbs, which brings us right back to that grand total of 206. But you gotta remember, that number is just the beginning. Your skeleton is an absolute superstar. It's a multitasker. It does way more than just support, protection, and movement. It's also a mineral bank, storing crucial stuff like calcium. And it's even a factory, constantly producing new blood cells in the bone marrow. It is an incredibly active and vital system. So the next time you take a step or pick something up or even just stand tall, maybe take a second to appreciate that silent, unbelievably complex framework that makes all of it possible. It really leaves you with a sense of awe and maybe one final question to think about. What marvels of engineering are you made of? Thanks so much for joining me.